Shalom to the nation of Israel. This is Barzal coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This quick lesson is going to be titled Beginning of Sorrows. Okay, so I got this article pulled up on endtimeheadlines.org. It's called Multiple Global Pestilences Threaten to Spiral Completely Out of Control. Interesting. So it says, okay, it starts with opinion. It says, do you remember the nightmares that we experienced in 2020 and 2021? I don't remember. I don't forget. Of course I remember that. I'm pretty sure everyone remembers that. Nobody wants to go through anything like that again. It's true. Nobody wants to go through it, but the reality is that's not your choice. You don't have a choice. We're all going to go through it because Jacob's trouble, the peak of Jacob's trouble is going to happen, right? But right now, multiple pestilences are raging all over the planet. And one or more of them could potentially spiral completely out of control. Well, they're all going to spiral out of control. That's the whole point. Because these wicked elite, their motto is order out of chaos. So there has to be complete chaos on the planet for there to be a need for order. And they're the ones that are going to bring the order. And the order is going to come in the small little package of the MOTB, which is going to be an RFID C-hip, right? That they're going to put in your hands, in your brain, right? Or, Elon Musk is doing that. So they're going to put it in your brain, in your hands. You might put it in your leg. So you're going to have a few people that are going to put it in those little odd areas, but the majority of people are going to get in their hands or in their brain. That's why in Revelation 14 or 13 and 14, it talks about the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, going into your hands or your forehead. And the reason why I said forehead, for which people are like, that sounds odd. Why would you want to put one of those small little things in your forehead? That's referring to the ones that they're going to be put in your brain, right? Because when you go to scan somewhere, what are you going to have to wave at the scanner? You're going to have to wave your forehead, right? Because of where the C-hip is placed, right? It's just common sense, guys. Common sense. And that's what he saw. John the Revelator, he saw in that vision that the Yahweh Shai gave to him. He saw everything, right? That's why even when he said in Revelation 13:16, he said right hand, because the majority of people on the planet are right-handed. That's why he saw a majority of people getting in the right hand. But then also in chapter 14, right? He also went even further and said hands, because it wasn't just the right hand. It was just in hands in general, right? Because just because he saw the people getting the right hand doesn't mean people weren't getting their left hand, right? We got to use common sense. But he even went further to even say hands. So it doesn't matter, right? So people can't say, oh, well, I got it in my left hand, so that's not the MOTB. No, okay? So it says here, for a long time I have warned my readers that we have entered in an era of great pestilences. Yep, he's right. Humanity's, you know what, let me just bring up the scripture because that's what they just said right there. You're going to go to Matthew. Hopefully this opens. Hopefully. This thing's been lagging. All right. There we go. Matthew 24:8. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So what is it referring to when it says all these? Okay, let's read at the top. So Matthew 24:3. Actually, you know what? Let's start at 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down, right? So he's saying basically nothing is going to be left here. Everything is going to be wiped away, right? And where were they? Because that's another indicator to tell you that Israel is also going to be hit with missiles, right? It's not going to just be America. America's going to be wiped off the map, right? And it's going to be a lake of fire. That's what the lake of fire is referring to. It's referring to America. And America's not coming back because that eventually will turn into a desert, right? For all the creatures to live in. But Israel is also going to be hit with missiles too. But it's going to be brought back because that is going to be the headquarters for New Jerusalem, right? For the kingdom of Israel, kingdom of Yasharallah, right? So we're going to bring Israel back. But it is going to be hit with missiles because it has to be cleansed. That place is wicked, right? And Israel and America are buddies. They work hand in hand. That's why you see if you're watching on the world stage, you see that America is always going to the aid of Israel and vice versa because they're buddies, right? They support each other. America established Israel, right, through the elites, the Rothschilds, right? And they established Israel to try and offset the prophecies, which they're trying to offset a prophecy, but then they really just brought forth another prophecy because the scriptures talk about a bastard in Ashdod, right? You know? Or you have strangers in your lands, right? What do you think that's talking about? You know? Right? Especially the one about strangers in your lands. I mean, it is twofold. But anyways, right? So he's basically saying that this place, Israel, right, where they are, is going to be wiped away. Now, they weren't in, when he was talking, Yahushua was talking to his disciples, they weren't in America. They weren't in New Canaan, right? They weren't in the Western Hemisphere. They were in Israel when he was talking, and he was talking to them. So that tells you, if you don't know, that Israel's going to be hit with missiles too. It's going to be hit by these ICBM missiles. It's going to be blasted with that fire, that spiritual nuclear fire. But like I said, Israel's going to be brought back. Israel's going to be brought back, and it's going to be restored. America's not going to be restored. It's going to be gone. It's going to stay there, and it's going to be a lake of fire. And once the fire dies down, it's going to be a desert, right? For all these creatures and creeping things. Okay, so back to the scriptures. Where am I? Okay, verse 3. And he says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Right? Because he just told them that where we are, where we're standing, where you see all these stones are all going to be wiped away. Right? Not one building is going to be standing. So they're just like, what? What do you mean? Wait, what? Okay, so tell us when this is going to happen. When are we going to know the end? Like, how are we going to know when the end's coming? Because now they're like, whoa, what? What do you mean that's going to happen? Right? So this is what he said. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And that's already happening. You already have false prophets, false messiahs, claiming to be the son of God, son of Yahweh. And they're actually saying, like, I am Yahushua. They use the, and that's how you know they're not the son of God, because they say they use the name Jesus Christ. That's how you know it's all bullshit. That's how you know they have demons on them. Because first of all, the letter J came in 1540 by a man named Trissino, right? In 1540. And on top of it, in the Hebrew characters, there is no letter J. There is no letter V. There is no letter E. There is no letter O. And there is no letter U. Right? Those 5 alphabets don't exist in the Hebrew characters. Right? Hence why the Hebrew characters only have 22 alphabets. Not 28. So that's why you see these, and that's just a way to cut those. That's what he said. That's what he said earlier. He said, take heed that no man deceive you. So you gotta take heed. What does the word heed mean? Actually, let's go in here where it says for heed. Heed. And everything I'm saying, you can just look it up. I'm not making anything up. Just look it up. Oh. Assuming this is heed. No? No. Nope. Let me check. This says take heed. I clicked the wrong one, Slacker. It says Blepo. Blepo says to see, discern of the bodily eye, with the bodily eye to be possessed of sight, have the power of seeing. So especially spiritual discernment, right? It also goes perceive by the use of the eyes, discern, to turn the eyes to anything, right? So basically to see. So it says basically he's saying look, see, discern, right? Just take heed that no man deceive you, right? And I already told you. So if you're thinking like you're watching these fake men, a lot of them are in Africa. They're popping up saying that they're the Most High's son. They're saying they're God's son. They're calling themselves Jesus Christ. Some are using Hebrew names. But even in their Hebrew names, it still has those alphabets I just mentioned, which I'll say it again. You got the letter V, the letter O, the letter U, the letter E, and the letter J. Those alphabets don't exist in the Hebrew characters, and you can look that up. I'm not making it up. You can look it up. These are what ancient and so-called scholars have even confirmed, right? They don't exist. And on top of it, the letter J came in 1540s by a man named Trissino. You can look that up too. So therefore, you see any names of those that have those characters or alphabets in them, that's how you know that's not the real name. Whether they're talking about the Most High's name, God's name, which is Yahweh, any name referring to God that has those alphabets is incorrect. That's how you know that's his name. And then his son's name, same thing. Any name that comes with the son's name, they're saying that I'm the son, they call themselves Jesus Christ, that's incorrect. Even if they're saying Yeshua, that's incorrect. Right? Close is good, but it's not perfect. You got to be right on the money. You can't have a name that's kind of right. Like if my name's George and people are calling me Georgina, yeah, it's close, but that's not my name. That's not my name, so I'm not going to listen to you. I will tell you what my name is, just so you know, which is what Yahweh Shai is doing through his prophets. He's telling you what his name is, and he's making it very clear for you to understand that's his name. That's why he has me breaking it down and telling you to go look up these things, just to prove, right, that his name, any name that comes with those alphabets, are not his name. So it points to only one name once you do the process of elimination. It's going to point to one name. Okay? Anyways, let's continue. It says, verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So a lot of people are being deceived by these men and others. And ye shall hear, Slakia, of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So let's go back to the article. Okay. What is this? These stupid ads. Okay, Slakia. Okay, clearly I can't do anything about these ads. Okay. So we were right here. It says, for a long time I have warned my readers that we have entered an era of great pestilences. Humanity's ability to manipulate diseases greatly exceeds humanity's ability to control diseases. Exactly. And you know why? Because the wicked are ruling. That's Job 9 and 24. Right? The earth is given in the hand of the wicked. So that's why you have things like that happening, where, it, like you just said, humanity's ability to manipulate diseases greatly exceeds humanity's ability to control diseases. Because the wicked, they're just extreme. They don't know balance. So they're extreme in wickedness. So anything that leads to death, they're going to be extreme in that. They're going to perfect that. So of course they're going to be greatly exceeding their ability to manipulate diseases, but not have the ability to control them. They don't want control in these things. They want chaos, right? Order out of chaos. It says, as you read this article, scientists all over the world are playing with some of the most dangerous bugs humanity has ever known. This is a recipe for disaster. And that's exactly what they want. They want disaster. They want chaos. They want plagues. They want pestilences. They want wars, right? That's what they want, so they can bring the order. And it is only a matter of time before we experience a crisis far worse than anything we went through in 2020 and 2021. And he's 100% right about that. And it's coming. I think it's going to be happening this year, to be completely honest. The way things are rolling out, we're going to start to see. I think they're really going to implement or mandate the MLTV near the end of this year, right? Near the end of this year or just the beginning of the next year, based off of Esau's calendar. That's when we're going to see these things being implemented or mandated. We're almost out of here, man. We're almost out of here. But the MLTB still has to happen. And what I just read, or what I'm reading, in Matthew 24, those are the beginning of the sorrows. So those sorrows still have to happen. Now we're in the midst of those sorrows because those are happening right now, right? But those are just the beginning of sorrows. That's why the title of this lesson is called The Beginning of Sorrows, not the end of sorrows, right? So once those things are happening, that just tells you we're at the beginning of sorrows. Because those things need to happen, and the MOTB needs to happen, and then the martial law has to happen, where they're rounding up people, put them in that still has to happen too. Don't forget about that, right? In Revelation, it talks about that, where they put them in internment camps, locking them up, chopping people's heads off that want to take the MOTB, so martyrs, right? You're on the run, you're hiding, right? All those things have to happen too. So there's a lot of things that still have to happen, right? But because that's so much evil that's basically targeted for the elect, the Lord's going to speed up the times because of all those things that are going to happen, It says, in recent months, I have been keeping a very close eye on bird flu. It has already killed hundreds of millions of birds around the globe and is now affecting mammals on a widespread basis. And they're not even talking too much about that, the bird flu. You don't hear about it too much. At least I haven't heard about it too much. Not saying I haven't been paying attention. I have heard about it, but you don't hear a lot of people talking about it because it's not on the forecenter of news. So a lot of the things that are happening that are bad are not being put on the news because if all the bad things that were happening right now on the planet, on the whole planet, people will be freaking out. There'll be mass riots, right? They don't want that type of chaos yet. It's not part of their plan. Not yet. But they do want that chaos to happen. And it's going to happen. But just not yet. It's not it's not on their timetable for their plan. That's too early, right? It says one expert who has been monitoring the bird flu for decades says that what we are witnessing right now is extremely worrying. McIntyre describes the spiraling infections in animals as being unprecedented and says the urgent surveillance is needed to monitor whether H5N1 begins spreading between pigs or ferrets, animals that have a similar receptor profile to humans. Right, and I'm going to go into that too. So let's go to the scriptures. Oh. Okay. It says, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences. Pestilences, there you go, and earthquakes, those are happening. Pestilences are happening. Famines are happening. They're talking about the foods on the not the counters. The shelves in stores are becoming bare, right? Hence why you have inflation, right? So food prices are going up, right? And the war, kingdom against kingdom, you're already seeing that happening. You can look everywhere on the planet and see that happening, right? Nation against nation, earthquake in diverse places. You had an earthquake in New York? When have you heard of an earthquake in New York? Right? That's a diverse place. And then verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So these are just the beginning of sorrows. So we're just entering the beginning of sorrows. Man. Right? So, now I mentioned pestilences, but when it said pestilences, what reminded me was plagues. Deuteronomy 28 and 58. Deuteronomy 28 and 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, right? The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, thy power. Then the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuances, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance. So he's saying he's gonna fuck you up, pretty much, to summarize that. He's gonna fuck you up with all the different types of plagues and sicknesses and diseases, right? Because you don't want to do the words that are in this book. You don't want to follow the law, statutes, commandments. So people think it's a joke. Because yes, a lot of such commandments were given to Israel, but really they're given to the whole planet to follow, right? Israel are the chosen people that it was given to what's the word I'm looking for? Administer, admin, or ambassadate. I don't know if that's a word. To be the ambassadors of Yahweh Shai, right? The lawgivers, the judges. There you go, right? The judges. They're the judges of this earth. They're the governors of this earth. They're the custodians of this earth, right? They're the landlords of this earth. So the Lord gave his rules, his laws and commandments to the landlords, to the judges, and they're supposed to administer the rules, right? But they're not doing that. Israel as a nation is not doing that. Hence why they're going to get it first. Hence why it's called Jacob's trouble. But because it's called Jacob's trouble doesn't mean it's not trouble for the whole planet too, because you guys are still supposed to be following the rules too. That's one thing people forget. People on the planet are still supposed to be following the rules because, like the scripture says, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So he rules. Therefore, his rules rule. Right? He has the last say. But that's why it's going to start with Jacob. That's why it's called Jacob's trouble. They're going to get it first because they were not doing their fucking job, right? As a nation. They broke the law, statutes, and commandments. They went off. And that was supposed to happen anyways in prophecy. But it's, at the end of the day, it still happened. So now you got to get judged because you weren't doing your fucking job. Right? You weren't doing your job. And now that's why the planet's like that's why the planet is where it is right now. Because you guys were caught. You guys were slipping. You're being lazy. You want to whore it. And that's why the beast, right, the devil, was released out of his prison. Right? Because you guys weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's all a big movie, a big story, right? And every part is supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen. But at the end of the day, the Most High's word doesn't go out vain, right? The Most High, Yahweh is bound by his word. So if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. He says if you don't listen to him, he's going to judge you. He's going to do it. Even though you were supposed to do it, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's part of the movie. So even though the laws, statutes, and commandments were given to Israel, the whole planet's supposed to be following them. So that's why the whole planet's going to be judged. It's not just Israel that's being judged. It's the whole planet. Right? But Israel's getting it the worst because those are his chosen people. That's the Most High's women. The Most High's women is not these other nations, the heathens. But at the end of the day, he still rules here. And you're still supposed to be following his rules. You know? But because us as the judges, we're not doing our job, we're going to get the worst. Okay, so, verse 60, it says, Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. So that's going to happen now, right now, and that is happening. The beginning of that, I mean, it's been happening, right? It's really been happening. But you can say the acceleration of that was since like 2020, like it's talking about in this article. And right now, like there's even more diseases that are popping up. And a lot of them are being pushed by Esau. But Esau is just a sword of the Most High to judge everyone, to judge Israel firstly, but also everyone else, right? Because they're gonna get caught in the crossfire, right? But it's not even really crossfire because whatever they get, they're supposed to get anyways. But the Esau, Edom, the wicked, are the sword or the whipping stick, right, of the Most High. Most importantly for Israel, because those are his chosen people, right? But a lot of these plagues, even though Israel as a nation is being attacked by this stuff, a lot of these plagues they're passing on to these other nations, right? They're passed on to these other nations. It's like I said, everyone's gonna get it because you all have to pay. You're all supposed to be following the rules at the end of the day. Israel, most importantly, of course, it goes without saying, but also these other nations, right? Because they all know the rules at the end of the day. They all know the rules. It's just that the Israelites, the judges, weren't they fucked up, right? As a nation, we fucked up. So we got to get judged. We're going to get judged first. Just like the oldest kid, the one that was given the most responsibilities, right? Your dad left and he gave the oldest, the one he trusted with all the responsibilities to get the job done. Make sure your brothers get their work done. Make sure everyone gets their work done, and you didn't do it. He comes home, the house is a mess. Everyone's doing, everyone's out. No one's at home, right? The place is a disaster, right? None of the chores were done. Who is he gonna blame? Is he gonna blame the person he gave all the responsibility to, or is he gonna blame the children that he didn't give the responsibility to? No, he's gonna blame the one he gave the responsibility to. He gave all the rules to. You're going to get the punishment. It doesn't mean the other ones are not going to get punishment too, because they still got to be punished for going off. But the one who was given all the law, statute, commandments, who was given all the rules, who's given all the authority, who's given all the responsibility, is going to get the worst, because he trusted you to do your job and you didn't do it. But it doesn't mean the rest of them are not going to get it too, right? He's just going to get the worst, and he's going to get it first. So that's why, back to what I was saying, that's why it's called Jacob's trouble. But just because it's called Jacob's trouble doesn't mean everyone else is not going to be in trouble too, right? Okay, so enough of that. And then verse 61, it says, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book. So there was plagues that were not written in the book that were happening in Egypt, right? In Egypt and just throughout the scriptures. But especially Egypt. There's plagues that happened in Egypt that weren't even written. So there's things that weren't even written. So there's things that you haven't even heard of that are going to happen. And it's already happening. It's already happening. So things that are happening right now happened back then. Which is hard to believe, but it happened back then. I mean, really, it's not hard to believe because Yahweh Shino Shai could do anything. Right? It says, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord Yahweh Shino Shai bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So he's going to bring it on to Israel first and foremost, until they're destroyed. So that's why these 2/3 are going to be destroyed, because the Most High is coming with them with everything. He's coming to them with the sword. He's coming to them with famine. He's coming with pestilences. He's coming with diseases, right? He's coming with everything to take care and deal with these 2/3 of Israel. And then once they're done with, then he's going to go after everyone else. Right? Everyone else is going to get it. But these 2/3 are going to get it first. Right? And the 1/3, right? The 144 and the 1/3, they're going to be protected. They're going to be taken care of. Because they are going to be doing the laws, statute, commandments to the best of their ability. They're going to be having the fear of the Lord. Right? Fear of Yahweh Shino Shai. So they're going to be doing those things. Therefore, because they'll be doing those things, he's going to protect them. Right? And they're going to be doing it to the best of their ability. Okay, so back to the article. Okay. It says, I have been following H5N1 since 1997, and the current situation is extremely worrying. McIntyre says in the past, H5N1 epidemics in birds were sporadic and would die down after culling of infected poultry. Since 2021, the pattern has changed, and it has not gone away, but steadily increased. Yeah, because they're creating these strains. They're purposely releasing them, but that's all from the Most High. Remember, nothing bad or good happens unless Yahweh Shino Shai says so. Just remember what happened with Job when Satan, who came in order and obedience to Yahweh Shino Shai, when he called for his sons to present themselves to him, Satan also came too. Remember, read the scriptures, read it in Job. So Satan's not some guy doing his own thing, creating all this havoc on the world based off his own ideas and his own ways and his own thinking. Everything he does is sanctioned by Yahweh Shino Shai. Everything he does, right? He doesn't get the what's the word I'm looking for? The go ahead unless Yahweh Shino Shai says he can do it. Just read that. Read Job. Start from Job 1 and read. Right? Like everything he did to Job, he can only do. He was only able to do it uh, uh, based on Yahweh Shai's orders, right? And Yahweh Shai only told him what he can do and what he can't do. And Satan's like, okay, I'm going to do that. You just listen to him and that's it. He's being obedient, 100% obedient. So everything that's happened right now, all these plagues, all these pestilences, all these things that are happening, the Most High is sanctioning it, right? He's sanctioning all of it. So let me just pull it up. I create good. Oop. I think it's Isaiah 5 and 20 actually. Isaiah 5 and 20. Like I said, you gotta read the scriptures, man. It's like, oh, the Most High doesn't do evil. You gotta read. These pastors of these churches are not telling you the truth. They're lying to you. Right? So Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them. No, that's not the one I want. That's a different one. I create evil. Yeah, Isaiah 45 and 7. Okay. So Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, do all these things. So the Lord does it, not Satan. Satan is just someone he uses to go do those things. If Yahweh wanted to do it himself, he could do it himself. He can just snap his fingers and make those things happen. But that's what he has his angels for. He has angels on the right-hand side and angels on the left-hand side. Right? He lets his evil angels to go do evil. Right? But at the end of the day, the orders came from Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushai. Right? That's the point. And I'll just prove it even more. If you don't think evil angels are real. Psalm 78 to 49. They're like, what? There's evil angels? Yeah, you got to read the scriptures, man. I told you, these pastors in these churches, they're not telling you the truth. They're lying to you. They're just telling the scriptures to make you feel in a good, happy mood every time you go to church. So you put more money in the collection plate, right? And fill their pockets, right? And you come back next Sunday to do the same thing. Or even twice a week to do the same thing. It's just a scam. Because if you go, these pastors don't tell you the truth. Let's just keep it simple. They don't tell you the truth. They're liars. They're false prophets, right? And the Lord's going to deal with them. He's going to judge them. Right? So Psalm 78 to 49, he casts upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So Jacob's trouble, there's going to be a lot of evil angels that are going to be loosed on the planet to you can say push, but to create Jacob's trouble, right? Which is not going to be trouble for Jacob, it's going to be trouble for the whole planet, but it's going to start with Jacob, which is Israel. Right? And evil angels were sent. So there's evil angels. But these evil angels are taking orders from Yahweh Shai, the Most High. Right? And through his son Yahweh Shai. Okay, so let's see. How long is this article? Okay, it's almost done. You know what? Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. I don't need to keep reading this. You got the gist of this article. Right? And it's only talking about one pestilence. It's talking about the bird flu. There's so many other things going on. You got people dropping dead, just like out of nowhere. And it's not random, because we know why they're dropping dead. Right? They took some type of medicine in 2020 and 2021. Near the end of 2022, they took a medicine. And now the effects of this medicine are happening right now. Because you had the people that took that medicine back then that dropped dead. Then you had people that took the medicine back then that obtained, or what's the word? Not obtained. Contracted, there you go. Contracted new diseases and new conditions from taking that medicine. And then you had the people that took it and nothing really happened. They might have felt a little bit, they got really sick and then they got a little bit better. And then now those people are dropping dead now. From 2022 to like now. You got people dropping dead. And then you have other people that now these weird diseases are happening. Especially with the young athletes, right? So it's just death. It's just pure death. You know, disease, plagues, and pestilences. Just anything to kill and create sorrow and terror, right? That's all Esau pushes. That's all he's about. That's all he cares about, right? And I just read that the plagues that weren't written in this book are going to be pushed out right now. So we're going to see even more crazier things. We're going to see zombies soon. That's going to happen too. Because they found that, like, that was like May 2016, they found that zombie virus. And that was that whole thing about the whole bath salt shit. They said it was a zombie. They said it was a bath salts to create people to turn into zombies. That's bullshit. Bath salts doesn't make you do that. It was just a cover story, right? All of it was a cover story. Bath salts does not make you do that. Right? They found that virus in Antarctica, I believe. And they used that cover story as so people didn't know that they found that virus and they were testing it out. It's because they were testing the virus out. And that's, I don't know how exactly what happened. I remember watching a video on it. Someone would leaked it out. And, you know, the test subjects got released, you know, escaped. However it happened, I don't really necessarily know. I remember watching the video, but the point is that it was the government made that. It was pushed by the government. Like, the government created that, right? They were just testing. Okay? So they already have a zombie virus. So that's why they're pushing all these movies. You have to understand, the movies you see and the shows you see, there's a reason why they're pushing those shows in their movies. It's to prepare you mentally. There's a specific word for that. I forgot the word that actually what I'm trying to explain. But basically, you put these movies and shows to prepare you mentally. So when you see it in real life, it's normal to you. It's like you've seen this before. So you're not going to freak out as much. You know what I mean? It's gradualism what they're doing, but it's a specific word when they do that with movies and shows. Right? I just don't remember what the word is. It's escaping me right now. But that's why they have all these zombie movies. Right? How many zombie movies and shows have we seen that they have? There's so many because they're telling you that's coming next. They already have a zombie virus. So they're going to release that and then just watch what happens. Because they want chaos. Remember, they want to wipe out the population to 500 million people. That's what the whole Georgia Guidestones thing was about. Even though they destroyed that because too many people were catching on to that, so they destroyed them. But that's what they had. That's their plan. They want 500 million people on the planet. So they got to release every type of plague they can think of or create. But all these orders, like I just shown you, is coming from Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai. So this is from the Most High. Because he's pissed off. He's pissed off with this planet. Just like he was pissed off during the time of Noah. Right? When he came with the flood, when he came with the water. That's how pissed off he was back then. That's why he just wiped everything out. Now he's pissed off again. But this time, he remembered that's when he made that promise with Noah, with the rainbow. That was a covenant between that he would not come and destroy the earth with water. So that's why this time he's coming with fire. And fire is a stronger cleaning agent than water. So he's wiping everything out. So if you're not right with the Lord, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're in this. If you're not right with the Lord, you're screwed. You're screwed. And you're not going to get right with the Lord calling his son Jesus Christ. Because that's not his name. And I already explained that earlier. Call him by his name. Or he's not going to hear you. Oh, well, he knows my heart. He does know your heart. And he knows that you know his name. Because heart means mind. So that means he knows your mind. So he does know your mind. You're 100% right. He does know your mind. And he knows that you know his name. And you're refusing to call his name for whatever vain, prideful, arrogant reason. And because of that, he's not going to listen to you. Because you're 100% right. He does know your mind. He does know your heart. He does know. And that's why he's not going to listen to you when you call him through by a name that's outside of his name. Right? It's disrespectful. So 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to read the point because I don't want to make this too long. Okay, you know what? I'll read. Okay, I'll just read. 2nd Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So that's when he's saying they're going to happen. Right? Everything he's written down is going to happen. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, that speak against thee. For all that unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. right? Like I just said, the ones that don't believe in the Most High are going to die, right? Because he's going to let them die. Because they're also, those ones that don't believe are also going to take the MOTB, the CHIP, the RFID. Hence why that's why they're going to die. And the ones that don't even make it to that point to take the MOTB are going to die before that by the plagues, the pestilences, and stuff like that, you know? But the point is that if you don't, the main point or the main thing is taking the MOTB. If you take that, you're dead, right? If you don't take it, you're saved, right? It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth." Slakia, I said earth. "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." Right. So I just said he's so pissed off with the planet. It's filled to the rim, right? It's overflowing with wickedness. So therefore, that's why he's coming with the ICBM missiles. He's going to shoot these ICBM missiles on America, on Israel, and maybe some other areas, some small areas, but for sure it's going to be America and Israel that are going to be hit. I just read that when Yahushua was talking in Matthew, right? America and Israel are going to be hit. America's not coming back. It's going to turn into a lake of fire. Then eventually when the fire dies down, it's going to be a desert for all the creeping animals and creatures. Israel's going to be hit with the missiles, same missiles, but it's gonna be on fire too. But then we're gonna come back as New Jerusalem. We have our perfect bodies, and we come down from the chairs, and we're gonna bring Israel back up. We're gonna restore it. So Israel's gonna be restored because that's our land, you know. So we're gonna restore that place, but it needs to be burned because it's polluted. It's polluted. It's tainted. It's been defiled with all the wickedness that happens over there. They got a place called Pink City, so you can look into that. What that's all about. But that's supposed to be the holy people over there, right? But they have a place called Pink City. So, where was I? Oh yeah, verse 7. "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." Right? And those are the elect. Those are the ones that are complaining continually. And the righteous blood are the ones that die in His truth. Right? The ones that die in His truth. Even the people in the right mind. The ones that are, the Israelites are in the right mind now. They're praying for the elect. They're not wicked anymore. They're in the kingdom, the spiritual world. Right? And they're in their right mind. Right? Verse 9, "And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." Right? So the Most High is like, enough is enough. I'm coming to get my people. I'm coming to get my elect. Because He's coming for the elect of Israel, not all of Israel. 2/3 are going to die. So He's coming for the 1/3, and He's coming for the 144. Right? Because now He's like, I had enough. Enough of this bullshit, enough of this death, enough of this wickedness. I'm coming to get my people. And He's going to send His son, Yahushai, with His Michael the Archangel, with the chariots and the other angels to come and rescue the elect and the 144, right? Or you can say the 1/3 and the 144, and destroy Esau, Edom, the beast, the dragon, and slay that dragon, right? Verse 12, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it." Right? Yeah, that's it on that. I mean, I could keep reading, but hit the point. Anyways, that's the point. So, Slakia, right? If you're not right with the Lord, you gotta keep praying. You gotta keep studying. You gotta keep doing your videos, your lessons, whatever it is that He has tasked you to do, and whatever the Spirit is telling you to do it, right? There's not a time to be lazy. There's not a time to be on your ass. This is a time to move with haste, in a balanced manner, of course. But you got to move with haste. You got to move with urgency, because we don't have a lot of time left. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as famine of the word hits, you can't really be doing videos. Like, they're gonna take you. They're gonna, like, brothers might be in the hiding because they already, like I said, they passed a law in Canada where you're going to be, I think they said it's jail time. I don't remember what the exact details of the law, but pretty much it's family of the word. That's pretty much to cut it, make it simple. It's family of the word. So we won't be able to do the videos. We won't be able to be on the highways and byways because there's a chance we might get arrested and go to jail, like real jail time, right? So now, right now is the time where you're able to do as much as you can to serve Yahweh Shem Shai. Think of it as like we're in the fourth quarter and it's like 5 minutes left on the clock. That's the point where we're in right now. So like, this is not a time to be kind of on your ass. This is not a time to be like coasting. This is not a time to be slowing down. This is a time to be pushing the pedal to the metal, right? Right? Fourth quarter, turn it up. You know. Anyways, that's not that. I'd like to close out by saying Kahala Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect, push his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharallah, and Shalom.